So I'm happy now to welcome Sandra Hamilton into our studio. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Now we're here to talk about social procurement and community benefit, which are not actually the same thing. Some people think that there are overlapping similarities, but they're quite different, aren't they?
Complementary, but not the same, for sure.
So could you explain those differences for us?
Certainly. Community benefits would be something that you would want to get involved in a large project. You wouldn't want to have to go out for community consultation on every single taxpayer-funded purchase.
Right.
So whereas social procurement is, just as for years we've added environmental criteria into our considerations, social procurement thinks about people in a people, planet, profit, triple bottom line approach to being more sustainable and advancing an inclusive, sustainable economy.
Do you want to elaborate more on people, planet, profit?
Yes, so I think the 90s were all about the profit, and I think the environmental movement did a very good job of saying that taxpayer-funded government procurement should not cause harm to the planet. And social today is probably where environmental considerations were 25 years ago. And social considerations would be, let's not do any harm to people. Like, are we getting low prices and moving people into poverty? So perhaps one decision in this area of government might actually be costing taxpayers money, like more affordable housing is needed if people can't afford to house themselves because their income is too low.
Right, okay.
And then maybe a step beyond that is, can we move beyond do no harm and get better at this, be really intentional at doing some good and connecting procurement, which is how we spend our tax dollars, procurement to public policy. We've not been very good at joining the dots and connecting the public policy to procurement.
Okay, and you're actually in from Vancouver. What
Vancouver
brought
Island.
you here? Vancouver Island, yes.
Yeah.
What brought you here? You were here to meet with other leaders.
I have written the first social procurement framework to be adopted in British Columbia and in Alberta. And what we're doing now is bringing what we've been learning in BC and Alberta to the Ontario marketplace, whereas in some ways Ontario is ahead and in other ways you're behind. You're ahead with legislation that is going to require community benefits. So Ontario has already passed Bill 6 that says community benefits can be added into procurement contracts. We don't have legislation in BC and Alberta, but we have been moving this ahead at the local government level. So we have more information on how to do it. That's what's missing in Ontario right now, is we know we're going to be doing it, but we're not sure how yet.
So there was an event the other day.
There was.
And what happened at it?
So the event was called Are We Buying the Future We Want? And it was held at Sheridan College. And it was really well attended from throughout southern Ontario. We had Toronto, we had Hamilton, Lambton, Niagara region, Peel. We had a lady come in from Nova Scotia. I was there from British Columbia and the Halton region. So good representation, and I was educating as to the concept that we can better leverage taxpayer-funded dollars, which is a huge portion of the Canadian economy, to be achieving the kind of future we want from diversity, inclusion. Do we want more women in construction? Do we want more welcoming for newcomers to Canada? What about people that are on welfare? Can we start reaching into there and be more open at connecting them to the job market? Because the job market's getting pretty tight.
So what's next?
What's next? In this region, there's a fantastic opportunity with the Oakville courthouse. A big build, a vertical build, lots of trades are involved in that over many years to create such a big project. Ontario has the legislation. Ontario has in its 2017 budget said they're looking for pilots, and we would like to say Halton Community Benefit Network is ready. The community is ready, and that this community is ready for a pilot. So let's make the Oakville Courthouse one of those provincial pilots, and let's bring that learning and that knowledge to this region.
Well, thank you for bringing your knowledge to this interview. We really appreciate you being here today, and we're glad you were able to stop by.
Thank you, much appreciated.